Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. I think it's totally worth to do an update on Ethereum today, Monday. We can see that there's been some developments in the price together with the liquidation levels that I want to share with you to keep you up to date and realistic in terms of your expectation. We'll cover some news as well. I've got two bullish news and one quite bearish one. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell to get notified every time I put out one of these videos. I've been trying this new way of having a dedicated short video for each of the major altcoins. If you're a hardcore fan of the channel, continue to hit the like and write down comments down below. That's definitely helping. We started with just 200, 300 views per video, and things are starting to look a little bit better thanks to you. Let's have a look at the weekly chart in here. You can see that after the breakdown, we spent some time, more than sometimes. This was over 6 weeks hitting that resistance of 2.7 that we were calling out from the lows. We also say that it will be perfectly fine to have in here some sort of pullback. You can see that it's bouncing from this neckline of 2.175 that has been historically respected across all the weekly range. Something that looks quite bullish on this recent price action is that we didn't even need to cover the whole golden pocket in here to find a bounce. We are actually bouncing from higher than that, which is pretty bullish so far. Or depending on how you're seeing this, you could think, well, that means that there's still a little bit more of retracement. I guess so far that line of support is doing the trick and we are not yet having to go to the golden pocket. The golden pocket though has an overlap with the next liquidation level, which is currently located at $2,000. It's ending precisely at $2,000. That is overlapping perfectly with the golden pocket, which should be seen still as a bullish retracement since it's just between 0.5 and 0.618. Interestingly, if we go below the price, if we don't switch on the 3x, we can see that there is additional liquidity right from the start in here. And I think it was the 3x's were responsible for that. The people that know how to trade. And of course, they managed to benefit from a whole move up starting from 1.8k. Let's bring in the 3x's and now you're gonna see pocket 1, 2, and 3. So 1 has been already taken. 2 is still bullish if it goes there. It's not a big deal, particularly considering that we started this rally from 1.379 and we went all the way 100%. So having a retracement to 2k, it's okay. It is when we go to 1.780 when we're gonna start testing people's patience and open interest is gonna just puke if we have to go there really. The biggest liquidation levels of course are located before we started moving up. That is at around 1.2k. If we go there, that is more bear market than the recent price action, which is already bear market price action in Ethereum. If we compare the liquidity that we have at 1.2, we could say that it's around half as much as we see at the top. Impossible to tell because we need to quantify not just how high it is, but also how wide and spread away. And I think there is a bug on trading different that is not showing this square here. And I'm pretty sure that the liquidity goes up until around 4.8, if not 5k and beyond by now. That is just a consequence of so many people wanting to short Ethereum. Now, let's look into the RSI and you're gonna see that we were talking about this breakout that absolutely faked out from the highs. That is the main reason why I don't like taking breakouts, number one. Number two, I don't like breakouts on RSIs that are too high. We're talking about 60, 50 in here. We haven't not given the chance for the momentum to fully reset. Now we did go now into 33. That makes a bit more sense than looking for a breakout from around 60, and we need to move the line to here, and now we need to patiently look for another bottom information. We were forming one in here, but it faked out. For Ethereum, I would like to see a scenario like this. During a week, let's say this week, there is some sort of escalation that really doesn't go that far. It just does the trick for the price to pinch within this area for 1 to 2 days, but by Sunday on candle close on the weekly time frame, we are back above 2.183. That will be a bullish scenario because that way we clear out the biggest liquidation, the pocket number 2, and then if we go sideways around here, we could be aiming for another attack of the highs. That time we should be going into 3k if things go as planned. By going into 3k, well, we achieve finally golden pocket retracement of the whole pullback, right? This area in here that starts from 2756, which which we got a rejection, and ideally we get into 3,100, somewhere around there. The best idea will be to reclaim 3,000 and hold above that level. RSIs are underneath the resistance, and we are in an area of value of longs versus shorts. We are reclaiming the line of the triangle, so that is a bullish signal at the moment. Of course, this is weekly time frame. Within the week, anything can happen. As long as we retain the longs in here, we could make a trip into the next resistance, and that's definitely gonna help to speed up the process of going above 3K. Socials are not so overheated. We are getting into 14% from lows of 1%, which is an increase of 900% in social dominance. But you can see that Ethereum can get a lot louder. In 2021, it was reaching 92 social dominance. So think about that. Probably at that point, no one was even remembering that Bitcoin exists. Then 78% and then 59%. So I will say that relative to the recent months, this is something. It's getting louder, but it's not an overcrowded space as if we went to 70s or 90%. And the same goes for the longs versus shorts that I just mentioned. In terms of news, we got two bullish news, as I say. Spot Ethereum ETFs pulled in another 1 billion in June. The cumulative now is 9.6 billion. So that's definitely bullish. Then we have Ethereum racks up 274 million net inflows. I think all the news are coming in from inflows and ETFs. In this case, is cross-chain data shows whales and L2 bridges funneling liquidity back into mainnet. That's interesting because the trend was actually the opposite up until now. Growing stablecoin float hints at dry powder for spot buying. I almost feel like we are being a little bit too optimistic, but well, it's a bullish news after all. It's just a news. It's not tradable. And when it comes to bearish news, we have a 3 out of 10 leverage-driven rally on shaky legs. Matrix Ports warns. Futures positioning is stretched and a 20k Ethereum well just hit Binance. Matrix Port flags risk of a flash towards the 2k if support at 2.2k breaks. Well, there is a liquidation there at 2k. We already flagged it, and I think that well can actually contribute to get there so we can get out of the way that liquidation level. But let's not go that far beyond 2k below the price of Ethereum, otherwise things are gonna get slower than a river of shit. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.